Okay, Keith, as per last week, the biggest news is still the Friedkin takeover at Everton. Paul Brown is reporting that a deal cannot be completed until the Leadenhall case approves the settlement of the 777 debt. Is that likely?
Look, let me clarify the situation for everyone. There are four approvals required here. Three are the normal regulatory approvals around football. The first is the FA, which will be a tick box, no problem. The second one is the Financial Conduct Authority. Again, a simple tick box, no problem. And the third one is the 10-point owners and directors test for the Premier League. And again, I believe that will be satisfied quite easily. This fourth and unique element is about the Leadenhall case, and it's coming to an agreement about the debt from 777 that is now assumed by ACAP, their parent company, to a degree, and it has to be approved by the judge. Now, both sides have said that they expect this to be approved quite easily, and so we don't anticipate any problems. But again, that's the only thing that I could see, and in the legal world, you're never sure until it's done. But every I say that I've spoken to is 99.9% certain that this will go through, and I think it's looking good. So it could be a legal little problem, but I don't anticipate that being the case.
That's good. And the UK court has ordered winding up of 777 partners. Is this another sign of lucky escape that Everton has had?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's. We've just seen the mess they created in basketball as well with the British Basketball League. All the other clubs that they have stakes in are now with an investment bank trying to work out how to divest themselves of it. Yes, it was a very lucky escape because if they had taken over, who knows where we'd be right now? Would they have had to leverage the club even further to try and keep themselves alive? All sorts of problems. And of course, it does bring into question, as many fans have done. We had a lot of pronouncements from Mr. Mashiri about how these were the best potential buyers for the club. Well, I'm afraid that has not turned out to be the case. They would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Everton got their first win of the season. Is something like this, a takeover that's finally getting completed, kind of help the performances on the pitch, a little bit less uncertainty for the players, the staff, everybody?
Well, I'd like to say yes, but I don't really think it does. What has helped most of all is getting those 3 points and not being part of the journalistic media noise around being in the bottom three. Because if you're in that bottom three, you know that the stories are going to be coming for the next week until the next game. So for us to get out of that relegation zone, and now sort of the journalists have got other stories and other targets to look at, Man United, of course, in particular, but that's really the thing. Now, it'll take until the deal is done for there to be real stability and new people coming in to help answer questions with the football side as well as all the other staff. So I don't think there'll be any calming down, but certainly it was a good week of news for Everton. It never hurts, but I think it was the 3 points that made the big difference.
And there are rumors that Friedkin may actually sell Roma with some Saudi owners potentially circling. If this were to happen, does this mean he'll be fully focused on investment in Everton and pumping more money into the club?
Yeah, look, that was a rumour that was going around last year, and that was also at the time when Friedkin was probably seen as the favourite American owner in Italy, and he was doing really well. Now he's probably one of the most hated American owners, so his whole situation has moved dramatically. He and his son came out with a very strong statement last week that when they announced about Everton, that they would carry on very much with Roma. They've got very strong plans. They believe in a new stadium. And they were talking very long term and how both clubs could coexist quite happily and be treated separately. You've got to wonder if the whole fan backlash might make him think twice about actually selling. I don't know if the Saudis are genuinely interested in Roma. Being the Saudi situation as it is, they're linked with everything at the moment. And so you've got to take it all with a pinch of salt. But certainly those rumours were flying around last year, and it's whether this situation, which resulted in his chief executive having to resign because of potential threats from the ultras, it's whether that sort of thing has made Friedkin think twice. But you've got to believe from his statement that they're committed for long term and they'll turn this round.
And we talk about Friedkin, and you talk about Roma and their new stadium. Well, obviously Everton have a new stadium coming along, and there's some rumors that he's already linked with selling those naming rights to Toyota for the new stadium. What would this mean for Everton to sell the naming rights, and how much money could this help them escape future PSR issues and also, bring in better players?
Well, look, there's a lot of good news on this side of it. I mean, Everton put out not an official statement, but certainly a statement this week saying that they've had numerous bids for naming rights now. So it would appear to be an auction, and also getting the right naming rights company as well, making sure that they're stable and that they can deliver. Toyota was obviously linked because of Friedkin's major Toyota situation in America, where he's a huge dealer and also now an assembler of Toyota cars. So that would make sense. I don't know how that would work, though, in terms of the naming rights. Is there a big Toyota market for him in the UK that he wants to attack? Or is it part of a corporate deal that Toyota will support? We've yet to see. Look, there'll be a number of options. In terms of how this helps Everton, there's some great news because, look, the way the deal's being structured, there could be a reduction of about £30 million in interest of payments for Everton right now if Friedkin assumes that debt. You're then looking at 60 to 70 million of increase in revenue at the new stadium. So you're starting to see Everton, certainly forgetting PSR for a moment, having much better stable financial footing and money to spend on the squad. So PSR should become less of a situation because the turnover will be increasing. The money can go to the right places it should do. And so overall, that's the really positive side that we're seeing from the Friedkin takeover, should it all happen, of course. We hope it does.
So if you're an Everton fan, is this kind of a wait and get through this season, make sure we stay in the Premier League, and then next summer we've got a new stadium, we've got a new owner, and we've got a lot of money coming in, and then time to really kind of feel like a new era of Everton's upon us?
That's exactly what it is right now. And I think the Friedkins will be looking at Sean Dyche and other football situations and thinking, now what are we going to do here? What's going to give us the best chance of being in the Premier League at the end of the season? Is it stability with the present management and the squad that we've got, or do we need to change right now and bring in some new players in January? I tend towards stability, thinking that gives you the best chance of survival. A lot will be dictated, though, as we run up to Christmas, and we'll see how the squad starts to do. We noticed a big difference at the weekend with injuries coming back. Branthwaite playing again for the first time this season made a big difference. And so hopefully, with the run of fixtures we've got, there could be some points on the board. Then I think you would see a stable position with Sean Dyche staying and the squad performing well. It's all about staying in the Premier League this season, and the fanfare for the new stadium next August is going to be something really special.